Hi, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us on The Wax. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Caitlin Francis. Lots to talk about here this morning. But first, let's get you updated on the forecast. It looks like it's going to be nice. And then it looks like it's going to be very, very hot for the first time in what feels like a million years. So let's say good morning to meteorologist Jill Gilardi for a check on what we can expect for the upcoming work week, back to school, all those things, Jill.
I know. We go from feeling like spring, it is refreshing out there nonetheless, to going to summer-like warmth. And actually the first 90-degree high of the season is on tap for Thursday, which we declared a first alert weather day. As of right now, the temperature is not so bad. It was a little cooler when Scott was on Channel 3 earlier this morning. We're still tracking some upper 40s, but those 50s are quickly taking over thanks to some sunshine. So if you have plans to get out and work in the yard today, even nicer than yesterday. Yesterday had a little long sleeve and some pants going outside. Today, a little less on the chillier side, especially after this morning with those readings bouncing back into the upper 60s, low 70s. A few spots could touch the mid 70-degree range, but generally falling short of that normal high of 76 degrees. But beautiful weather. Like, this is, ideal for someone like me who doesn't like to sweat. Now, if you don't mind the heat and humidity, you're going to love a Wednesday through at least Friday's forecast. But we want to give folks that first alert that the heat will be a little intense if you are sensitive to it on Thursday, especially, which is a first alert weather day. So I'm going to have more on that, what you need to expect and when, coming up a little bit later. For now, we'll toss it over to Caitlin. Good morning.
All right. Good morning, Jill. Good morning, everyone. 7:32. Just waking up with us here on The Wax. We do have a breaking first alert. This is in New Haven, and this is going to slow you down if you're traveling northbound on 91. So heading towards Wallingford or Hartford here this morning between exits 5 and 6. The left lane there is blocked off. It actually looks like we have exit 6 completely closed at this time as well. Taking a look here at our traffic camera, very active scene with again, what DOT is reporting as an overturned vehicle here, 91 northbound between exits 5 and 6 with the left lane there closed. Earlier incident in East Hartford, 84 eastbound by exit 58. Looks like it's getting ready to clear, not going to slow you down too much. Let's quick check your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, let's get to new developments right now in West Hartford. While you were sleeping, police say a driver struck and killed a man crossing the street.
Your reporter Roger Suzanin has the latest on the ongoing investigation.
Good morning. Police are still trying to figure out exactly what led up to this deadly crash, but I can tell you that the intersection is open, as you can see, and it's a relatively busy intersection here. The intersection of South Main Street and New Britain Avenue, a very busy area. This crash happened here just steps away from Doro Marketplace. And I wanted to take a look at some footage that we captured just moments after this deadly crash. Police tell us the victim was struck and killed just before 10 o'clock last night. We're told the driver did remain on the scene and is cooperating with this investigation. It's unclear right now whether or not the driver will face criminal charges or if this was just a tragic accident. This is, by the way, the first deadly crash involving somebody who was trying to cross a West Hartford street this year. This after 3 deadly pedestrian crashes happened last year. That actually led town leaders to launch a long-term road safety initiative known as the Vision Zero Action Plan. The goal there is to reduce or hopefully even eliminate pedestrian crashes in the town of West Hartford by the year 2033. So again, the intersection is back open, but the investigation continues as a man was struck and killed here in West Hartford. We'll have more information on this story as it develops. Reporting in West Hartford this morning, I'm your reporter, Roger Suzanin, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And this morning, one person is recovering after multiple cars crashed and caught fire on Route 5 in South Windsor. That crash caused the road to shut down in both directions for a little while. Back open now for that morning commute. The photo here that you see on your screen from the South Windsor Fire Department shows the damage left behind. That one vehicle rolled off the side of the road and completely in flames.
This morning, a motorcycle driver is seriously hurt from a crash in Harwington. He was flown to Hartford Hospital, closing Lead Mine Brook Road for hours. The road is back open this morning, and the investigation is ongoing.
Happening now, police in East Hartford working to learn more after a teenager died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound while running from police. This happens when officers were responding to reports of a dine and dash involving 4 people at the AAA Diner on Main Street. We are now working to learn the name of that victim and if anyone involved is facing consequences.
Well, right now, police in Vernon are asking for your help finding this man here on your screen. Take a good look. Police believe he attacked a 69-year-old man at a bus stop in Vernon last week. They say it happened near Talcottville Road and Wilshire Drive last Wednesday. If you recognize this man, police want you to call them right away. Well, this morning we're learning new details about the small plane crash where, incredibly, the 2 people on that aircraft both survived.
Yeah, it's some great news. Tweed New Haven airport officials say the plane went down in the Long Island Sound right off the coast of Brantford yesterday morning. Your reporter Marcy Jones live here in the studio breaking down what we know right now. Hey, Marcy.
Hey, good morning, you guys. The fact that both of these people who were on board are alive is nothing short of a miracle. Now the investigation into what went wrong is underway. According to FAA officials, 2 people were rescued just after 10:30 Sunday morning after a small plane crashed into the Long Island Sound about 8 miles away from Tweed New Haven Airport. At this time, we know the aircraft came from Bridgeport, but its destination was unspecified. Officials say something went wrong in the air that prompted the pilot to call for an emergency landing at Tweed. The Coast Guard then dispatched a rescue boat to the scene after receiving a notification from the air traffic control tower that the aircraft went down in the vicinity of the Thimble Islands. The 2 people on board were able to get out of the plane, thankfully, before it sank and spent about 30 minutes in the water with life jackets on before they were rescued. Channel 3 spoke with a boater who said the scene was chaotic.
Anytime you have an issue where you have individuals in the water, I mean, legally we're obliged to go out there and render care as long as we don't put ourselves or the vessel in danger. So when you hear a call someone like that so close to home, you want to help out, do the best you can.
Both victims have been treated for minor injuries and hypothermia symptoms, but are expected to be okay. Your reporter in studio, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Now to new developments in Colorado, where police have arrested a man who they say threw a makeshift flamethrower at a crowd of demonstrators at a mall there. The FBI is now investigating this case as terrorism.
So the police there say the victims were marching in support of Israeli hostages, and the suspect was heard yelling, quote, "Free Palestine." This morning, we know at least 8 people were hurt, but they are all expected to live.
And we're hearing from the Jewish community from right here in our state. They held a similar event supporting the remaining hostages held by Hamas yesterday. One rabbi telling us they are horrified by the attack and they want everyone to speak out against anti-Semitism that we see in our everyday lives.
New this morning, the Trump administration investigating Cromwell schools, claiming they violated Title IX laws. The Department of Education says they allowed a transgender athlete to play in sports that match their gender identity. Well, that would violate an executive order. Local lawmakers say the White House is targeting the district unfairly.
Happening today, state lawmakers will be back at the Capitol, and we expect them to vote on the state budget at some point today. The budget proposal normally lasts 2 years, but we've heard some recent conversations between lawmakers saying they should maybe do a 1-year budget, but we'll see where that lands.
Yeah, so right now, Governor Ned Lamont says he does not like that 1-year plan because it doesn't give town leaders enough time to plan their budgets. The clock is ticking, though. We've been following this for you throughout. The Governor Lamont has to sign a budget by the end of the month.
Well, today's vote follows a busy weekend at the state Capitol.
Lawmakers spent their weekend voting on some last-minute bills that could impact schools, housing, and transportation. Let's get into it. First, lawmakers passed bills to give your kids more resources at school. It includes money to give teachers raises, make repairs, and creates a portal to help you find childcare. They're also giving school districts more money for special education programs.
In regards to housing, lawmakers passed a bill that works to lower costs and create more affordable housing. The bill also changes zoning laws so that people can build more affordable housing. Republicans oppose the measure, arguing cities and towns should be able to make that decision.
And another group of bills works to make roads here in Connecticut safer. It's calling for a study about adding speed cameras on highways. It also requires kids to wear their helmets on bikes and scooters. All of these bills now heading to the governor's desk.
And it will be crunch time at the Capitol this week as lawmakers have until Wednesday to pass any more last-minute bills and that budget. Jill?
All right, we are going to be talking about what's abnormal in terms of our temperatures are right now becoming above normal. So what is normal? Well, 54 for low, 76 for high. We have been significantly below that this morning, and we still have some 40s out there. 45 in Tallinn, 50 though in Waterbury, 57 in New Haven, getting better. All right, the forecast for today, I mean, it's beautiful out there. It's going to feel more like spring than anything else than, yes, meteorological summer. Upper 60s for highs in Torrington with just a few fair weather clouds. The chance for rain today is like 10%. So, yeah, we're looking at really nice weather. Even the Hartford area, we'll get into the low 70s and some mid and upper 60s down towards New London. So beautiful weather today, but we have a first alert weather day for the heat and humidity Thursday. And of course, we're going to fill you in on all that coming up here very shortly. So stay with us.